All right, today we're going to make the bevel from Fort Worth. Mark Milster and Jim Keith are judging down there in Fort Worth. And this bevel is just a little bit odd. And when I say that, it's a beautiful shoe, but it's a different approach. The section is a very deep section, but it's not very wide. And I think that we revert to something like Tool and Fuller, where your biggest problems on this shoe are going to be is trying to get your nail holes down the center of stock on such a narrow section. Because once you narrow something up, this section isn't so much narrow. It's a nice section. What I'm saying though is that it's a lot deeper than people make it out to be. This is a deep section and it's not that wide or bulky. It's made out of 1/2 by 3/4, 11 inches long, and it's a fairly small shoe. So I wouldn't spend a lot of time widening this shoe out. And one of the tools that I'm going to use for this is going to be just a little stem punch. I want to get my nails dropped in there and I want to get them located before I really commit to make that hole really, really big. And so I'm going to try and drift through everything, not make a mess of things, and then make my nail holes after, like push them out and for an E4 Slim. But it's a really, really nice shoe. It's a little bit steeper in the medial toe, and I think that's deliberate. It's so that you don't miss the toe. It looks like a foot on the back side. On the front side, it's a little bit bolder, that's the whole idea of a bevel. So clean little shoe, and it's hammer finished, so don't go on with those heels until you get those done just right. All right, we're just gonna bump the toe a little bit. Why? Because we just want to have some material that we can get rid of later on. We'll put her in and we'll start to make our heel and our bevel on the outside, the lateral side. We're going to hold it slightly at an angle. We're going to come right on through the toe and come around the corner. Now we're going to hold it at the same angle, come right on through the toe, hold the heel at an angle, because what we want is we want the heel check to be twisted at an angle that would be the same as the origin of growth of the buttress. Flatten the heel out. Just holding the stock at the beveled angle and finishing up to that line so that we have that heel check at an angle. Holding that at an angle, coming right on through. And you're just backing into that, holding in that angle. Flatten it up. And like I say, you're holding at an angle to get that check being diagonally through the branch. And all we're doing is just trying to make that to where it fits tight. And we have a nice heel check and it runs at a slope through it. I'm going to hold, I have the bevel. This is important. So I have my bevel flat against the horn here, and my tongs, you can see as my tongs are cocked towards me. Now, whenever I make my toe bend, I'm going to be hitting the inside edge of the toe, which accentuates my bevel, flattening it, and then coming back up. But you don't hold it like this. Hold it to where everything is on there straight so it doesn't buckle as bad. Just bringing the toe, making the toe tight enough. Right here, I'm holding it at an angle and just tightening up that toe. Now I have the big side of the bick on the inside. I'm just gonna run a nice line through my toe and give my bevel a nice look to it. We'll do the outside branch, kind of clean up that heel to where it's nice, and finish the outside branch off. Just make sure I got my heel just right. Hold it at an angle and bring it on around. Run my bevel nice. You can see I've got a nice sharp check. It comes in at an angle, and I'll do the medial side next. Finish the heel. Make that nice and tight. And bend it all around. Alright, now I'm ready to mark my nails real quick. Alright, we're going to just mark the nail holes. So we'll just I use my nail holes, the marks, for a guide more than anything. I just don't want to, that didn't look quite right, the outside, so I just tightened it up a little bit. Alright, we'll punch the nails. Got it pretty much set up the way we want. We'll keep on rocking on. Alright, we're using a real fine punch. Just trying to get it dropped in there without making a mess. Everything we do to one side, we got to do to the other. Then we'll come up here on the edge, clean up our bevel. And a lot of things that people don't realize is that top edge, you want to soften that up, because if you don't, it just doesn't create your line. So all I'm doing is making sure that I have a nice line on the ground surface. We'll do the other side. Alright, we're just gonna guide these in there the best we can, using a real fine stem punch, so we don't do as much damage to the section as you would just pushing the sides out with an E-head. Bringing it up here, holding it in the heel, and then just creating the line on the inside edge with the anvil and the outside edge with my hammer. Leaning it just a little bit more than you think you should, and then doing the same thing here. Leaning it just a tad fraz more than you should. Now this is just creating the line on the ground surface, just so that when you pack everything back together, it makes a nice, clean, tidy line. All right, so now we're just gonna, since it's hammer finished, I think there's plenty of time to do this, is we're just gonna run through each branch, get the size of the dimension we want, and finish it off with a nice head stamp and be done with it. Each branch, one on each side. From the heel nail to the toe, just kind of going through, overlapping blows, being nice and consistent as you can with your movement. And then from my heel nail all the way through the tip of the heel. And come in with a head stamp, just kind of clean up those edges, square them up, boom. All right, we'll do the other side. From that heel nail, just kind of blending everything right on through to the toe. And then from the heel nail, blending everything right on through to the heel. And then got your E-head, just push those sides open, make it nice and tidy for a E-head nail to fit in there. All right. All right, we've got the bevel. I think this shoe and the Roadster shoe, the neatest thing about it is that they're shoes that you can tinker around in your shop and learn the elements and not having to be beating your brains out on 1/2 by 1. The Roadster is 3/8 by 3/4, and the bevel is 1/2 by 3/4. So I think that just putzing with these shoes and figuring out the forging procedures is the same. It's just on a lighter scale. So good shoes for the individual class in Fort Worth. If you like these videos, do us a favor and like us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube channel. So about the only thing we get out of these is if we get a little bit of acknowledgement from you. So thank you. Please subscribe to us on YouTube and like us on Facebook and Instagram.